As is usually the case, at CES this year, a lot of the vendors were showing off custom builds by their SI partners. A company that I saw a couple builds from that I was not at all familiar with was Computer Upgrade King. And I actually did feature them in a couple of my videos of booth walkthroughs or suite visits. I didn't really think much of it until I got home from CES, and Computer Upgrade King's marketing department actually contacted me. They wanted to know if I'd be interested in a partnership to show off what kind of systems they can offer consumers, especially when considering this kind of price-hostile environment that we're in for do-it-yourselfers. So this right here is their Stratos gaming desktop. We're going to put it to the test today, see what you actually get for your money. So this actually just arrived in the office a couple of hours ago. I haven't even had a chance to get it out of the box yet. It ships in a protective cardboard outer box. So the inner box actually stays very nice, unblemished, completely intact. I did cut open these top flaps, but haven't actually pulled the system out yet. So why don't we go ahead and do that, and we can find out what comes in the box. So the first couple things that I pulled out of the box that were sitting right on top is your warranty card. Don't lose this, it explains how the warranty works. And this padded manila envelope. I have no idea what's in it, so let's take a look. All right, so it looks like basically just your instruction manuals, some driver discs that we'll never use. This is actually a remote control for the LEDs on the inside of the system, your power cord, some additional Velcro wire ties, your case screws if you want to change anything, an additional SATA data cable, another very tiny CD. Looks like a Wi-Fi antenna, separate USB Wi-Fi antenna, and then some more manuals, instructions, and things of that nature. So let's actually just briefly touch on this warranty because it's actually one of the selling points and something that people actually desire about a pre-built system. When you do it yourself, you don't get any warranty besides the manufacturer's warranty on any parts. Computer Upgrade King provides 3 years of warranty and also 3 years of phone or email support, and they cover shipping both ways if something goes wrong. So a little bit of peace of mind actually makes a really big difference, not only if you're new to things, but even if you're experienced. It's nice to have something to fall back on if something goes wrong. Okay, we got out of the box and I was actually really impressed with how they packed it. This is really high quality closed cell foam. It seemed like it was really secure in there. Nothing's gonna really damage it in shipping process unless it's really severely jostled around. And I could see that there is actually Instapack inside of the case to prevent your components from bouncing around as well. So I'm gonna have to take that out and then we can see what's inside the box. Yeah. So the front of the case actually caught my eye while I was at CES, and looking at it now a little more closely than I did there, I could see that it has a lot more function than just being a pretty add-on, as I actually thought when I was in Las Vegas. The slats on the side, these are individually mounted metal slats. They run the entire perimeter of the front of the case, and they provide a huge amount of ventilation and airflow to the front fans. The case comes with 7 of these halo fans, as they call them. They actually look very similar to the iGo Auroras that I reviewed a couple weeks ago on the channel. But nevertheless, they are really good looking, and you actually can control their color, I found, not with this remote, which I still need to figure out what this is for, but with the reset switch on the side. So you could go white, seizure mode, off. I guess this is like a color pulse, red, green, and then back to blue. Unfortunately, I can't get the remote to actually do anything. Maybe the battery's dead. I mean, I guess that does happen. I'll reach out to my rep and see what exactly this is supposed to be, because it says fan control, fan speed, modes, brightness. all that supposed to be on here, but I guess doesn't work. But even still, having these 7 fans in a system is actually more than I normally install, so should keep everything inside nice and cool. Let's remove this side panel glass and see what components Computer Upgrade King actually sent us. So as you guys know, I am kind of a stickler for neatness and cable management inside my systems. This looks fine. I don't have any complaints about this. Everything is routed appropriately. They use the appropriate cutouts in the case to route the cables. Do have kind of a stray PWM cable coming off of the Intel stock box cooler. Sometimes you can't help that, especially if you want the little Intel sticker to be right side up. So, you know, no complaints there. Everything looks really neat. Can't wait to see how they did the backside cable management. Actually, that'll be interesting. But what we have here are just off-the-shelf components. You could go out, you could build the system yourself, you could put it together, and you get the same performance. The Intel i5-8400 is what's powering everything. You see that we did stay with the stock cooler, however, just because we wanted to try to stay within a certain price target. They do offer upgrades to coolers if you wanted to do that. Also, similarly, we have just basic green PCB DDR4 2400. This is 2x8 gig kit. Higher end systems or systems that you configure with I guess more expensive memory won't have those basic green PCB DIMMs. So it's kind of a matter of like what you want to prioritize. Do you need to stay within a price target? Do you want to make it look a little prettier? You have all those options when you're configuring your system. Our graphics card here is the MSI GTX 1060 3 gig. You see we have the mini version here, but it's going to run just like a 1063 gig should. At least I hope so. We're going to test that out in a second. Now, when I turned this thing around and took a look at the backside cable management, I was actually more impressed than when I looked at the front. Now, granted, this system doesn't have a whole lot of wires to route, but there are 7 fans in here, along with PCIe cables, obviously your 24-pin, your EPS, all the front panel headers. They did a bang-up job routing everything, zip tying everything in place. It looks great back there. Absolutely no problem taking off or putting back on that right side panel. And you could tell that they definitely put the time in here to make sure that they got this right. So what I actually want to do now is hop on to the Computer Upgrade King website, show you how I configured this system with a little help from them, and then try to compare it to what you could build on PCPartPicker and see if there's actually value in buying a pre-built. So here we are on Computer Upgrade King's website, and as you guys can see, they not only sell custom desktops but custom laptops as well, and a very small selection of components. But we are here to build a PC. So let's go up here to desktops, select gaming desktops, and brings up this screen with a whole bunch of base configurations, both Intel and AMD, all kinds of different chassis, starting at $339 and going up into the multiple thousands. But what we have today is the Stratos Z370. So we're going to click on this, and you can see it brings you into this screen where our base price is $819.99. And then as you scroll down here, you can see that all of your components are laid out with pretty easy to understand interface. You just select the radio button of what you want in your system, and it adds to the price automatically. So what I configured with my Computer Upgrade King rep was an i5-8400 based system because the target was $1,000. We wanted to stay around $1,000 and figure that we want a little more power than an i3 without going crazy up to an i7. And we definitely wanted 16 gigs of DDR4 2400. So we bumped that up and then added in a 120 gig SSD. Now they actually ship the computer without a 1 terabyte hard drive because I don't need it. It's not something like I'm going to be loading the system up with games right now, but you could see that even with the 1 terabyte hard drive, we're at $1,024, $1,025. So let's go ahead and see what we could build on PCPartPicker with the same kinds of components and see what the price ends up being. So now we're on PCPartPicker, and I've already gone ahead and just put together a system that mirrors what we have in our Stratos. Of course, we have the i5-8400, but everything else here I've chosen because it's the lowest price item in its category, just to see where we end up price-wise. Now, the motherboard actually turns out that this is the exact same motherboard that came in our system, the MSI Z378 Pro. But this kit of DDR4, this 2x8 gig kit, was actually the cheapest listed on PCPartPicker at this time. It's 160 bucks. Then we move down, again, the cheapest 120 gig SSD that I could find. This is your standard 1 terabyte hard drive. This is included in the price of the build, although, like I said, we did not get one of these in our system. And then you have the MSI GeForce GTX 1063 gig, $339, a completely reasonable price for a GTX 1060. But that's what it's going for right now, and this is the cheapest 1060 that I could find. The Roswell Cullinan, I actually put this in here on purpose. There are cheaper ATX cases, but this is very, very similar to the case that we have. So this is what I went with. This is also the power supply that we have, the EVGA 450 80 plus bronze rated, and then we have Windows 10 Home. So we came out to a total price of $1,102, which when you compare it to our Stratos build, you could see is $77 more. Not to mention the fact you don't get professional assembly and a warranty and phone service and everything else that they can provide you that you just don't get when you put the system together yourself. So what I want to do now is actually take the system that we configured, put it to the test. Let's get some games on here, do some real world tasks, see how it performs, and then we'll come back and wrap up. So this is the Stratos by Computer Upgrade King. They have a whole bunch of different configurations available on their website. I'm going to drop a couple links down below in case you want to go and check it out, but you could go and build your own, see what kind of price you come up with versus what you could do off the shelf. But they have like low-end stuff, they have high-end stuff. You can configure basically anything you want to your heart's content. And right now it just kind of seems like pre-built is a better value than something that you could build off of Newegg or Amazon or something similar. It might not always be that way, but this is kind of the first time in my computer career where I say if you need an entire PC right now, you're probably better off doing something like this than going and building it yourself. Now, while that statement might sound sad, it's just kind of the reality that we're living in right now, unfortunately. As you guys, I'm sure, are aware, graphics card prices, memory prices, and even prices on high-end power supplies are just absolutely through the roof right now. And to be honest with you, sometimes you can't even find the items that you're looking for. Pre-builts might actually just make more sense now than they ever have before. So if you guys enjoyed this content, let me know down below in the comments. Also, don't forget to get subscribed to the channel if you're not already. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.